All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 86 of MLM Monday. Super excited to be here with each and every single one of you today as you're checking out the show. If this is your very first time checking it out, go ahead and comment in where you're watching from, and then go ahead and comment back if you're watching live or if you're watching on a replay. Go ahead and say watch it on the replay. And no, I'm not under surgery. This is my awesome skylight on the third floor here. And yes, it is super sunny out, which is fantastic. If you guys know anything about Chicago, lots of snow, and we're pumped to be done with snow for a good amount of time here. So great topics today. We are talking about getting your teams into action, relevant information, and noise. All right. So here's a great question for each and every single one of you. Is more data always a good thing? Right. Well, when you think about your own members in a direct sales company, they have very limited time that they're participating in your program. So many of the times they already have a regular job or other activities, and they might only be spending a half an hour or 20 minutes or 15 minutes a day to promote your direct sales opportunity. So the key that we're finding is keeping stuff. People always say, well, keep it simple, keep stuff simple. And the piece I want to share with you today is how can you go ahead and prioritize in real time. Hey, Rob, welcome. Hey, Ruth. Good stuff, guys. Check out Rob, check out Ruth. Good stuff, folks who are watching. That's totally perfect. So the big key in communication and putting it all together is how do you assist your teams in coming together in action in a way that's relevant in that moment. That's what's so different. I get into conversations all the time about reporting inside of MLM back offices and what's important to have on a dashboard. And people go right to the technical information of, well, what should somebody be looking at if they log into our back office, and what would make it sticky to bring them back into our virtual office. And the thing I always really lead clients into today is talking about getting rid of all the additional information and getting to just what's actually important for this person to do, what's actually relevant in that moment, right? That's why Google's so powerful as a search engine, right? Because when you plug in what you're looking for, it's incredibly relevant. The geo-targeting, everything else, it knows that you're looking for that hamburger that's right down the street for that hamburger joint when you type in that funky name. And it's not just an encyclopedia, right? It uses your geography and the context of when you're typing in stuff to actually give you a response. Well, what if you could actually run your direct selling company or run your team in the very same way? What if you could get your teams into action with what's actually relevant? And that's been a question that I've talked about for literally years internally, of saying, okay, we understand that people have to be doing the activities to share with one another, to present products and services, to enroll people in an opportunity. But how do you clear away the noise? So one of the things that I'm just pumped about this summer as a preview to each and every single one of you that we've been working on for over a year is the idea of gamified actions, right? And you want to start thinking about the content and context of whose role this is, right? One of the formulas we've been working on in algorithms for a long time is predictive action analytics. And it's the idea of right on your mobile phone actually giving you relevant tasks. So if someone like Rob or Ruth or Jonathan or all the folks who are watching were sitting on your couch in your room looking at all your reports and saying, hey, the most important thing you could do right now is call Joanna. She went to your website and didn't buy, right? If they were standing right there and could tell you as the rep the most relevant thing to do in any moment, man, would you be more effective? Absolutely. Let's ask ourselves the question, if we think about our distributors and our reps, how much time do we think that they believe they need to have in their day before they work our business for the day? Is it a half an hour? Is it 25 minutes? How much time does a regular rep on your team need to have open for them to actually work your business? Well, what if you could get that down to 5 minutes or 10 minutes? What if you could lower the barrier to how much time they need to have or they feel they need to have in order to do the business today, right? Well, that's the whole key, is how do you start to think about everything that you're doing and think about the way you set up information in a way where it's so relevant that it's just the most important action they need to do in that moment so that people can understand, like, oh, all I got to do is if I got 6 minutes today, instead of browsing Facebook for a moment, I'm going to go pop open, right, my app, and I'm going to go see what my top action is. So this is the key, is to actually have this conversation around relevant information and getting away from noise, getting away of data just for data's sake in a display or an interface or a UI, right? These are a lot of the things that I see as a real divergence here in 2019, is that there's going to be direct sales companies who continue to build on the old paradigm of reports and what's happened to your members or your customers in the system. And then there's going to be an entire different paradigm of people that are going to actually take the time and the responsibility and the technology to actually track what it is you've done and actually give you your top action at any time inside of the system. And so this is something we've been working on for a long time. And I get excited as I see the results and what's happening in the space inside of this conversation, because the more relevant you can make everything that you're doing in the space, the less noise there is, the less things that get in the way, right? The less friction. Now you have something really special, right? Now you have something that can move with speed, right? So I know we've been talking very conceptually, right? It's from a point, because there's a couple different talks we get to do here in April and in May. We'll get to share quite a bit more about approaching your business in this angle, or approaching it with this type of algorithmic gamification that's very relevant to your members, and understanding that. And some of the things that I think is just powerful for each and every single one of you, that is, if you'd like to be a part of that type of conversation, if you'd like updates or news, or to hear more information about what's possible inside of the artificial intelligence gamification world with producing really relevant actions to your members at any time, feel free to send me a message here on Facebook. One of the things that I've been blessed to run is a group of folks both on Facebook and LinkedIn called the Direct Selling Executives Forum. And as president of those groups, it's just an honor to be able to tap and post different case studies and relevant info of what's actually going on in the space. If you're not yet a member, it's absolutely free to be a member of the Direct Selling Executives Forum. I would love to loop you in there so that you get an opportunity to see these updates as this stuff becomes very real. There's a massive divergence coming. The responsibility of the corporate team and their infrastructure versus the field leader is shifting in an incredible way, to where people in the field have the relationships, they have the community, they are the feeling of what things feel like. But corporate teams, because of data, right, and because of tools and systems, are now responsible for giving these huge head starts, right, and huge advantages to their members by the ones that realize it's 2019 and it's not 2010 anymore. Do you guys get that 2010 was 9 years ago? We all think like we're in a modern space. The space changes every year so significantly. If you haven't yet tapped in to what's going on right now, where the big boys and the big girls are investing in and what they're doing, you are going to miss out. You don't want to be the noise. You want to be relevant. And to be relevant today, it changes the entire experience. I'll leave with one last story here as we go. I have a home in a very exclusive area in Bartlett, Illinois. That was a wonderful home. I actually out here on some acreage that I moved out to. I bought last July. But in that home, I was coming home from O'Hare Airport. So in Chicago, we do a lot of trips out of O'Hare. And I was grabbing an Uber ride because my wife was out. And what was so interesting about Uber as an experience and a business opportunity for the driver that was giving me a ride at my home was that he had another customer. There's only like 7 homes on the street where I lived. He had a customer from my neighborhood before he even dropped me off. So someone else had already hired my Uber driver to pick them up from my same neighborhood in that moment. And what was really interesting is I said, man, this guy knew exactly what to do next to go earn his income. His income earning activities were right in front of him there in his mobile application. And it's so important to give these members, the people who are brand new direct sellers, who have never been a part of your community before, people who have tried it before in the past and maybe didn't create the success they thought they could, but to be able to do the work to give them relevant information is absolutely incredible. Some of you that follow our channel and watch our show that are consultants in the space, I truly believe there's a whole new role being born in the direct sales consulting space of game masters, people who put together the actual content and messaging for each micro step of the process of connecting and inviting others, so that suggested actions can be a very, very real thing for people today. If you'd like to be a part of that type of conversation, it's free. Message me and I will plug you into the Direct Selling Executives Forum. April is a very, very pivotal time. Sorry for being so cryptic on the show, guys, but there's a lot of very cool things we've worked on for years that are all very much a reality here. And it's very exciting to see what's next. I want to thank you all for jumping on MLM Monday today. Fantastic to connect with you. Thank you guys for being here for our rants and ramblings. Looking forward to connecting with each and every single one of you soon. Bye for now.